Hello, everyone, and welcome to the RangerRob Country Living Podcast. And today is episode 93. And while this intro was going, John Pearson trying to get on, and I think maybe he was using the link I gave him before. So while that was going on, I was trying to give him the new link. So hopefully that works for him. But if you guys get a chance on the, make sure you tell him to use the new link I just posted.
I did.
Yeah, I told him to try resetting his phone.
Yeah. So anyway, we're having a little bit of fun, but somewhere along the line we should be able to get John on here. Today is going to be interesting because tomorrow I have a video talking about breeding and Idaho pasture pigs and lessons learned and things they don't tell you, and which gave us all kinds of conversations in the last day or two of all kinds of things of whether it was pigs or whether it meat birds and gardens and apples and the whole things like that. We thought we'd just kind of review again some of the things we learned, things we're not going to do again, and things we're going to enhance. So that's kind of what our subject today is. But before we do that, I got to let you know this is an audio podcast also. So if you're listening to podcasts on your phone and stuff like that, just we're on all the Spotify's and all the different kinds of platforms. And so just type in RangerRob Country Living Podcast, and I'm sure it will show up, put us in your favorites, and you can listen to any of our episodes whenever you want. So, and we're also on Crooked River Ranch Radio. So I think that plays on Sundays, and I can't remember. I think it's around 8 o'clock. So try to check it out on those platforms. And yeah, so today, right now, we got J&D Home Pig Homestead, which is Debbie and John. And how you guys doing?
Just great.
I gotta switch over. Oh yeah, Elijah's here. Good. Let's see, tonight wanted to say hi. Yeah, we've been talking about the fact it was really cold yesterday, and today we got our first snow, which I was not thrilled about at all.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to happen until tomorrow.
But it wasn't as cold as it was yesterday.
I know that was better because I had a lot of outdoor chores to do, and so that was helpful. That wasn't painfully cold, just cold. And I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments about the weather here in a minute when we talk about some of the revelations and problems you've been having with your pigs like I have. So if you guys haven't noticed with my videos, now life isn't all Debbie Downer, but so we do the video. So
dang it.
On the video, darn it, my dogs.
I try so hard.
I have my our little golden retriever she's learning her voice. But anyway, so this week you probably kind of tell with the videos we've been having some interesting circumstances that we didn't expect, and so it's been keeping us on our toes. And then I find out during the holidays and stuff, really haven't talked to anybody in the homestead world. Come to find out, you guys are having some similar problems. Just one moment here. I'm going to mute my microphone.
There was 3 cuss words in there.
It didn't help. Hey, come here. Come here, you dork. Jeez. So what goes on is the golden retriever, the young one, plays with the German Shepherd, and it gets pretty rough. So Abby's best defense is her voice. But when the German Shepherd says enough, she just swings a foot, holds her down, and say, "You're done." But she's still barking. Anyway, you'll chill out in a couple of minutes. Anyway, so note-wise, I haven't seen what John's. John says, John's just trying to get out of the video, and I needed him to talk about his apples. Let's see. Text messages I can try to copy and paste because it will not allow me. Yeah, he's just being a rebel. Anyway, don't give up, John. Just try rebooting or something. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about a little bit of my stuff, just to get out of the way, and then we're going to go into your stories, which we'll start with pigs because the last week for both of us has been hair-raising, frustrating, and we've come up with the saying for the week has been boars are assholes.
Yes.
Horny assholes.
Yeah. So why is that happening? So you guys have seen our videos where we got a brand new boar over here named Desmond, and you guys have a great big boar that's bigger than him named Ardkin, and then I have a boar, also second boar that's pretty big, but he's not functional. So we're working on that problem. So, but anyway, my story pretty much was with Desmond, because Desmond is a beautiful, I would say, registered quality. Well, he is registered. He's going to produce some really good piglets for if I sold some need some breeders in the future. And I'm going to match them up with Penny and Annie, which is my breeds from the East Coast. So, just a second. Abby, stop. Sorry,
It's not
guys.
that loud.
Good. Well, yeah, this mic is not supposed to pick up the outside noises, but it's quite loud for me. There she is. Maybe she'll calm down. So anyway, so I had this bright idea because we really, really want to get Desmond, started, right? And so we're going to put him with Annie, which she's still a gilt, which just means she hasn't had a litter before, and we went through the little rigmarole of getting her over to his paddock, and we put her in there, and all hell broke loose. I mean, Desmond was not doing anything wrong other than he was just curious and sniffing her, and she was running from him and panicking, and to the point where she just came around a few times, and we're using Premier One fencing, which is a kind of what you want to call like a fabric fencing, electrified. Anyway, she just beeline for opening in the fence and just started pushing and pushing and pushing while Desmond was right behind her, and got through the fence. And luckily Desmond stayed in his paddock, but not before he has just little tusk, and his little tusks cut her bottom a little bit, and scared us a little bit, but she's fine. But we were all running for our lives. I mean, like, we had Jalen, Sherry's sister, in there. She was running behind the fence. Dogs ran across the fence, hid on the other side of the fencing. I'm in there just going, oh my God, I'm going to die. And the whole works. But once she got out, she just calmed down and ran kind of over by her old area. Anyway, so the lesson being is, one is, I tried to do a lot of research of saying, okay, does anybody talk about blending their herds together? And the answer is no. I've been so I started getting involved with talking to other farmers that have pigs, and of course, you ask them off, when it's not on camera. I go, have you had trouble putting piglets together or putting sows together and all that? And they go, oh yeah, and they start telling you all kinds of stories. And my first question is, how come nobody makes a video about this? So tomorrow's video is going to be about this. And so what we're discovering is, when you're blending herds together. Like Desmond has never been part of our herd at all. So he is a stranger to all my pigs. So rule one, do not put them in the same pen together if they haven't met each other.
What
So
I've learned is you put them, have a fence in between them so that they can go nose to nose for almost 2 weeks, and then
did you
try
know
to
that
put them
before
together.
or just recently? Why? I mean, you could have called Rob up and say, don't put
Well,
your pigs together.
Didn't even think about
I
it.
got that in my little back of my brain, and it just comes out.
Yeah,
If I don't need the information, it just stays back there.
didn't even
Um,
think about it.
yeah.
'Cause we
So,
had that problem with ours. The first
yeah.
group of
So
pigs that
it
we had.
happens also, even if they do know each other. For example, you've got a big boar, you separated them because she was pregnant and she's had piglets. And we're going to let you tell some of your stories here. But so what's happened with you is you've had Ardkin over on the other side in his own paddock, and you just mentioned that that Rosie, the female, good, and these are all very big pigs. I guess went into heat even a month after she. Well, yeah, it's been
21
about a
days.
month,
Yeah.
and Ardkin caught wind of that, and he has been a hellion. just so so the one thing both of us have concluded is we love our boars. They're cuddly and you can scratch their ears and you can get them rubbed their tummies. But if they have anything to do with sows or smell sows, they are assholes. I'm sorry, but that's the word. They just forget about people. They forget about everything. All they want to do is get with the girls.
Yeah.
And one more thing I wanted to bring on to that is you also saw on the 2 videos ago that I got scratched and cut by that same boar, and I couldn't realize I couldn't. It really shocked me because he was so easy to work with all the time, and he just out of the blue just kind of gave me a hug, swipe with his head, and that's all it takes. And with boars because of their tusks. And I finally figured out what was the problem is I was petting all the sows and scratching their ears and all that stuff over on the other side of the field. And then I walked over to his paddock and I got in because I thought it'd be cute to try to get him to roll on his belly. But he wasn't having it because he got caught wind of the sows in my gloves. And so he's doing his little boar, hug swing type thing with his head. And I paid the consequences. I mean, it
Yeah.
happened in a split second. I mean, I was shocked. Anyway,
Yeah, because
so
wasn't one of them in heat?
yeah, I mean,
One of the
you never
sows?
know. I mean, we think it's actually until next week, but if but he caught wind definitely of one of the girls, and I don't know which one I was scratching, but
Wasn't it
um,
Zelda that was in heat?
it could have
Not,
been Penny. I mean, who
oh,
knows? Anyway, so lesson learned, and that was stored in the back of my head way back, and didn't recall until after I was hurt. So anyway, so what's going on with your Ardkin, your monster boar over there?
So the really, really fancy log cabin that John made for them?
Yeah.
He tore that thing apart.
it is toast.
He tore the fences apart. I mean, we had the poles cemented in the ground and he lifted them up like they were nothing. So yeah, he just tore the fence down on both paddocks.
So about 30 feet of fencing, just toast, mangled to pieces.
And
I
how many
finally
times?
cut it out,
How many
and
times did he get out and be walking around the property?
At least 4 times a day
yeah, at least 4.
for the
And-
last 3 days.
And the thing
Yeah.
was, he started this
Friday.
and got out, and we were gone to Portland. We didn't get back till Sunday. And the whole time I'm just worried. Oh shoot! Now I got to get Arkin back in.
Yeah, my brother was watching him, and see, at first, the first few times he would follow us right back in without feed, and then it was with feed, and then it's like, hell no, I ain't going in there. So an hour later, trying to get his big butt back in the paddock no, he wanted Rosie. He was over by Rosie.
He even
Yeah,
stood
so
his ground when I went over there to try to coax him back. He stood his ground and kind of did the old bull swipe with his front feet. And I'm like, ooh, I'll just let you hang out here for a while. Calm down.
And then Bentley tried to take him on. Our old English bulldog tried to take him on. He ended up with a fat lip. But it was his fault because he started it. He went after him. And we almost couldn't get him out away from the pig.
Wow.
But they both held their ground.
Arkin is just like Sparky. He's got about 2-inch tusks. And so swing that, if just not paying attention, and he swings those tusks around. And they're usually not doing out of anger or anything. It's just habit. And I've had that happen with Sparky, but luckily that's when he was younger. But I wasn't expecting it from Desmond, but he was just being a normal boar.
Yeah.
But, so a lot of us in the last week have, as I guess what we're saying is our farms are growing and we're doing, getting ready to kind of get our breeding set up and our infrastructure set up. And so this kind of stuff is going to happen because it's new territory for us. And unfortunately, when you guys see videos of homesteads and stuff, they're just telling you the good parts, or they're showing you the after parts.
Yeah.
So you don't see the in between. So this, I was a complete victim of, I really have never observed other farms going with this problem. So anyway, so with us, we just went and we just purchased $1,300 new fencing, and we're basically going to build a fortress. Anyway, we're going to put 2 paddocks side by side, metal fencing with electric and the gates and stuff. And we're going to not only do 1 sow, but 2 sows at the same time, because they're saying when you're trying to introduce new members to other pigs and stuff, and then that it's better to also have 2 sows because it takes the attention away from the boar to be focused on 1 sow, if that makes sense. So right now, the only one who's really eligible to be with her is Zelda, which is my older pig. I was not in a hurry to go get her bred, but she's one of my really big pigs. So that's going to be a real challenge for Desmond. But Annie's the one that we're really working hard to get pregnant soon, because she's a gilt. But she didn't like the surprise. So anyway, we're going to put them side by side in a thing and keep it under control and give them some time to sniff and snort and do all the things. And then when we think we're ready, we're just going to open up one of the panels in the middle of the 2 paddocks and let them come together. And if it gets really bad, I'll have a pig board with and we'll separate them again. But I mean, it's the only battle. So the other farms we had come over and look at and talk to agreed that's probably the best thing to do. And was it Lori and Hayes from Obsidian Farm? They suggested 2 sows at the same time, and I'm going, I can do that. So anyway, once we get that built, we'll try again. But right now, Desmond's a sweetheart.
So you think when we put Rosie back with Arkin, we should do that as well? Is put them side by side? Because
Arkin is going to be very excited to be with Rosie again. So, and Rosie might not be totally in the mood after just having piglets.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt to put them side by side like I had them before.
Yeah.
Maybe just a day or 2, and then because they've been a pair for a long time, so they'll integrate easy. But
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know is if when you separate them like that, because she's on the clear on the other side of the barn, as you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if that made a difference or not. If I need
it
to go
might.
side by side because they've
He
been
might
apart
be
for a little bit.
he might be pretty excited to see her and do his thing again. So um
Oh yeah, he wants to bad.
I
But
think one
when
of the
he
things is neither one of us can underestimate what these pigs can do. And people don't
Lesson
realize when you
learned.
have a 300 to 400 pound pig start doing anything, when they get something set in their mind, uh, we're just obstacles. And I feel like it's like a bowling, going to the bowling alley. I feel like the pigs are the ball and we're just the pins.
Yeah, that's
'Cause-
exactly how Arkin was acting.
yeah.
when he
So
got up close to the fence where Rosie was,
yeah,
he was gentle. He
it
sniffed
might
all
be,
the
it might
little,
be,
yeah,
might
he
be.
sniffed all the little piggies and went nose to nose with Rosie, and he was really gentle.
I think he's lonely too.
Yeah, I think mine is too. So I want to get them together, but I can't move fast enough because I can't get the hardware fast enough. But
Yeah.
anyway, so and here's an example. We'll just talk about pigs right now, but we're going to switch subjects in a little bit. Um, so with Central Oregon Grown, we sell pork now. So it comes in waves, but we're actually, I think, doing pretty good for a new company. And we're slowly advertising a little more and more. And then there's some kind of deliveries we're not doing yet, and in the future we may. Anyway, so my panic was, first of all, I don't have enough piglets for spring to be processed at the rate that we're going through pork here on USDA. So I ordered 3 piglets from another farm that are IPPs, and they're doing great. And of course, Penny had a small litter, so I get caught off guard there and a little bit panicky. What am I going to do? That's when we kind of analyze, like, it's time to get more serious about our herd and our breeding process. So we always have enough pork here. And another thing I want to with our customers is we really want to get our customers to start buying half pigs and whole pigs. And on the site, you can do that, right? And we can expand it. Right now, we just have holes on there, but once we kind of show that people can get on there, you can buy a pig. We raise it up here. We send it to the processor. You just pay the processor the processing of the pig, and you get your order. They'll have you get on the phone and get you customized exactly how you want all your pig process to be. If you want just sausage, or if you want lots of pork chops, or bone in or bone out, all that stuff, you tell them and you get your pig exactly the way you want it. So, and it's definitely affordable, and you get high quality pork that way. So anyway, but it's hard for us to offer that when right now my breeding program has been chaos. So we're trying to get the first round going, but unfortunately, bringing in a new boar, which is a great boar, I have a a compatibility problem. So anyway, but we'll get this handled. But so what our goal is to try to have at least a litter every quarter of the year, which will suffice for us, and then we'll be able to sell extra pigs and whole pigs, and sell piglets to people that just want to raise their own pigs. And I think you guys are kind of the same way, only you're going with the half year mode or 8-month mode because you have only one sow right now. Anyway, so what's also good is a lot of my pigs are not related to your pigs, and so we can mix our pigs together to fulfill orders for people that want a female and a male that aren't related. So that was a really cool thing that worked out. We didn't plan it that way at the beginning, but it kind of worked out. So once we get our breeding programs kind of stabilized, that's so going. Our theme on this show was lessons learned from 2003, and we're finding with breeding and stuff. And for us, our goal, our plans for 2004 is to get our breeding program on a regular basis where people can pretty much call us any time of year, and we can either tell them we have piglets coming or we have piglets already, and we can give them dates of like when things are going to be done or when piglets are going to be born. And you can't do that right now, but we're working in that direction. And the other thing with you guys, and I want you to talk more about your meat birds, is you guys on Central Oregon grown love our meat birds, and I think we have 2 more left. I'm serious. We had 25, 24. And you guys bought them up, and not just one order. People would go, "Oh, those are so good," and they ordered 2 more. And so I'm almost out of whole meat birds. And you guys, fortunately, because you've been having John build all kinds of coops over there, we're talking about, hey, Debbie and John, since you really enjoy it, why don't you guys raise our large quantity of meat birds, and we'll buy them from you and then bring them to our farm to sell. And it's something they'd like to do. So we're hoping to have a much larger quantity of whole chicken for people in 2024 based on our new ideas. In fact, you just ordered another 50 Red Rangers. Yeah.
Yeah. And the ones that I have now, I have 24 of them. And by the beginning of January, they'll be ready for processing. I think I got 14 left.
Yeah, so we'll have to talk and see how many you have that can go to market, and then also make sure that we're fulfilling your orders that you already have. So,
right.
Anyway, so meat birds. So what have you done, and what are you changing, and what are you thinking for meat birds this year to next year?
So this year we tried actually 2 kinds, the Red Rangers. We did those the first time.
Yeah.
I loved it. I mean, they were beautiful birds. The weight was there. The Cornish cross, you only grow those out for 8 weeks. They're much smaller bird. So they average, well, I had a problem with the first group with the feed.
Yeah.
And that was a lesson learned. I talked about that before on your show, that I was not aware they had to have higher protein food their whole lifespan.
That's insane.
And I did like I did in my laying birds, is I fed them grower food for the first 3 to 4 weeks, and then I sent them to the regular food. Well, you can't do that with Cornish cross. I lost half of my birds. So,
I know that through both of us, because I know you were saying, I can't believe I'm losing all these birds. And it's like,
yeah,
and
3
then
days.
when you finally called the company back and they told you the grower thing, and both of us are going, you're kidding me.
Yeah, like that was a big lesson learned, because I was losing 3 birds every day.
Yeah.
Out of 24, I ended up with 12. So this next group, I went ahead and reordered because I had orders to fill. And these ones, I haven't lost not one.
Wow.
And so they'll be ready, like I said, the end of December, but I'm going to do it the first week of January, give them that little extra time. But 50 birds are coming in March of the Red Rangers. Those are 18 weeks.
Yeah. So 18 or 12?
I think it's 12 to 18.
It's
16 I did 18
weeks, but we usually go 2 over.
Yeah. All right. And your meat birds came out heavier than mine, because my facilities, I'm using a chicken tractor, but it's kind of low to the ground, and you guys were using a hutch, which is and I really think we're kind of thinking that that affected the growth, because it's like fish, you put them depending on how big the pond is. And so it'll be interesting this year. That'll make our whole chickens heavier than last year, because we averaged 4 to 5 pounds, and you guys were averaging 5 to 6 pounds.
Yeah, I think our biggest one was 7.
Yeah, so you guys won't see any difference in taste other than a bigger bird, but the Red Rangers is just a really hardy, healthy bird. And
Yeah,
And
they're beautiful.
yeah,
yeah, so anyway, it'd be interesting. And yeah, if we get a hold of some of your Cornish crosses and they look good, it's like we can maybe do a dozen on the online. And if you want to know differences, Cornish cross is really basically what you see in a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
And only they do them by the thousands in one building, and it's not the most humane way to do things and stuff. Um,
Yeah,
anyway, the Red Rangers just like a normal chicken, and they're stronger and
they're,
they're
they're
more muscular
multi-purpose.
and
Yeah, they
well,
lay
what?
eggs, so
Yeah.
yeah,
So um, anyway, just they're they're night and day compared to a Cornish cross, and
yeah,
um, I felt like there's just big, strong chickens where the Cornish cross are a little bit more
delicate.
delicate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but they get a lot of meat in their chests. But
Hmm.
we'll see how it goes with this next batch you got coming.
And I
So,
noticed one other thing between the different birds that the Cornish cross, when you go to process and you open them up, the
mhm.
fat that they have, the Rangers had more of that than the Cornish cross does.
Huh? I
They
wouldn't.
had very, very little.
I would expect the opposite.
Yeah, no, that's the only thing. The only difference with those birds is that.
So, what else are you modifying to
well,
meet your new goals for 2024?
now we
Go ahead, Jeff.
have a so we got the 2 center chicken coops that we can split the birds up 25 and 25. That'll give them enough room. And
Yeah.
in cold weather, we can also keep doing birds because we got the barn, which I can put heat lamps in the barn and get it warm enough for them.
Yeah.
So we actually have 3 places we can put the birds. And your turkeys.
We haven't got
so,
that far
yeah.
yet.
So we were talking about turkeys, and what are you thinking?
So I'm thinking we're going to do turkeys again this year. I don't have it all figured out yet on when to start getting them. But where my garden area was, I'm going to use that area for the turkeys. It's much bigger. There's a little bit of grass in there. It's either that or I'm going to have to buy a chain link fence for them because the ones that we have, they walk right through it.
Yeah. Big birds.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to do the white breasted again.
Yeah.
They grow a little bit faster than the heritage.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's the area I'm going to do the turkeys. And where the greenhouse is, that's going to be their home.
Yeah. And another thing that I know we're going to do for 2024 is we kind of enjoyed the fact that we shut down some of our hydroponics and stuff like that. So, but the one thing we discovered is people love our strawberries, and we did have quite a few strawberries, but I want to beef it up. So I'm hoping I probably can't make it as I can come close to really building up our numbers this year, but the second year for strawberries is incredible. But so our above ground gardens, some of the things we could live with or without. Anyway, so we're going to give 2 more above ground gardens, which are 4x8, to strawberries again on top of what we already have, and we're hoping to be able to offer strawberries for a period of time to our customers. And so because oh my gosh, there's just strawberries are so good. Our family loves it, our grandkids love it, and
your
anyway,
tomatoes too when you have a good year.
Yeah, which was not this year. And so
No.
what we've learned is we're going to go back to the we're going to do the hydroponics tomatoes again, but we're going back to the Jet Stars, like we did the first year, because we made a killing the first year, and most of that was Jet Stars, and we might do one or two
Your
beefsteak.
beefsteak ones came out good too that one year.
Everybody had problems with their gardens this year. Everybody
Yeah.
I've talked to.
Yeah, and but I did, in fact, I mean, I know it looks terrible on the property, but there's some places we abandoned this year because I was dealing with the hernia thing, and so I kept my limitations to things I didn't have to stoop so much, and so back to normal and stuff. But I think I'll still go back to my Walla Walla onions. What scares me about that is I think everybody loves those onions, and I got a feeling they'll sell fast, and it's like I'm kind of greedy. I want to make sure that we're keeping a lot for ourselves. And what people don't see is we take our Walla Walla onions and we freeze dry them. So most people know that Walla Walla onions don't last long. They don't keep long in refrigeration and stuff. But when you freeze dry them, they're forever. So, like we're still using our Walla Walla onions, and we didn't grow any this year. And but I got to make sure and grow again next year because I'm going to run out. So anyway, but we are making modifications of like things I know people love, and we want to make it available on the farm for them to buy it through Central Oregon Grown. And so the strawberries, tomatoes, and probably Walla Walla onions, and then anything else, who knows. And we did corn one time, but I almost tempted to turn that into a big pen for, I don't know, Meatbirds or something, and just let them eat off the ground or something, because it wasn't worth the effort to do the work for the corn when I could do something more productive and something that people really want. I know people want corn, but people can be really picky about corn, and so anyway, I don't know what I want to do with that area yet, but we'll see. So for 2024, on the Meatbirds, I know you're quite invested. I know also you guys did your processing area indoors now, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
now, go
Yeah,
ahead.
we built its own barn for that, and it
Oh.
worked out wonderful. Especially when it was really cold out. I mean, it was great.
Yeah, I'd hate to be processing birds and being cold at the same time.
Well,
That would
I
be
got my own setup
We got a
on
heater
the
out there.
outside. So I do all the dispatching and defeathering and everything. And
yeah.
I just go around the corner, put it in the deep sink. She comes over, gets her bird. She was going as fast as I was dispatching them.
Wow.
We did 12 of them in 2 hours.
So you guys are getting that process down pretty good.
Yeah.
So another thing with this video is like, we're working together a little bit as a community, doing the things they enjoy and doing the things we enjoy. And then now we have a new source of customers to buy some of our stuff too. And so we're kind of like coordinating, making sure we grow or raise the things people want.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a lot of wasted space because we'd grow things that, Sherry and I enjoyed maybe a couple of things and stuff, but there's certain things that definitely stood out. I wish I could be a little more successful in the green beans, but I'm working on it. So anyway,
Rob,
so
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
Rob, there's something we didn't mention when we were talking about pigs and stuff.
Yeah.
Is Rob and I both, and John, both board pigs also. So if you don't have a place to raise them for feeder pigs, both of us do that as well. We'll raise them here. So that's just another option for people.
Yep. And between your farm and our farm, our goal is to be able to pretty much fill all the little niches. So whether you want to raise your own piglet, you want us to raise your piglet, maybe you want to be a breeder, and need a farm that definitely does not have the same heritage. It is really important. If you're going to be an IPP breeder, you cannot have pigs related to each other. And so our farms can do that now. And where before we were actually going to think it was going to work out right. But anyway, since I bought Desmond and I have my 2 East Coast pigs, we're totally unrelated to your herd. And
Yeah.
so any kind of niche you want in pigs, especially when it comes to Idaho pasture pigs, we're all devoted to being registered farms and follow the rules to the T. And we're not intermixing, we're not cross doing anything. Everything's pure 100% IPP pigs. So I've been watching so many videos or watching guys. Hi, we just got our new IPPs in, and I want to blend them with another pig. And I'm going, I don't even want to watch that video. The Idaho pasture pig is designed for us people with homesteads, quality pork, really good fat content. It's just and a bigger pig. Why change that?
Like the best meat ever.
I know. So
all of our customers, yeah, they love it. They can't wait for us to start the next litter.
I know. And yeah, I mean, all of us are getting pretty much permanent customers because like my neighbor, I think she would buy all my pork chops if I let her. They just love them so much. But a couple of things that they buy and I don't have on the site is they buy my ribs and they buy my tenderloins, and they just love them. But I always feel like I don't have enough quantity, and our ribs are smaller than what you see in the store. But you got to remember they're smaller pigs, but they're also lined with Idaho pasture pig meat, and it's so good. And so the ribs I think are way above what you buy in the store, and flavor wise too. But anyway, but they're smaller.
Yeah, and the color of the Idaho pasture pigs is red. It looks like beef, not white like in the store. That's what shocked me the most is the coloring in it.
Yep, and there's no chemicals in our pigs at all.
None.
I have one exception. I was like, if we had a problem, some farms or some herds can also have a respiratory problem. If I was going to do any vaccines at all, which is a proven vaccine from years and years and years ago, that you can give your herd if you're trying to prevent any respiratory problems. But our farm has had none, and yours has had none, but only if it's necessary.
Didn't you have one? That little one?
Yeah, but we didn't actually treat it the normal way and stuff, and we didn't blend it with the herd or anything like that. So it was a lesson learned. But that pig did pass away at teenage age. I'm surprised it even lived that long. But anyway, but yeah, no hormones and no weird, nothing to make them grow funny or all that. And no vaccines that aren't, none of our herd has vaccines here.
Nope.
And so, yeah, anyway, just happy about that.
Yeah, what you feed it is what you get.
Yep. And you guys are like that.
I didn't even want to do electric fence, but with our kid, we don't have a choice.
Yeah.
We have to put electric fence up for him.
And you'll find he'll just get zapped a few times and he'll learn and he never touches it again. So it doesn't mentally mess him up or anything, but after about 2 or 3 days, the pretty much is like, okay, I guess I shouldn't touch that wire. And they're good with it. And then a lot of times you shut off the power and forget to turn it on for a week or something. The pigs still think it's on.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I did not want to use electric, but with Arkin, we do not have a choice.
nope.
He's
And
just
I'm finding with a sow, if she's in wild mode and stuff, they don't care about electric the fencing either. So they need a heavy power. It's like, so Penny, I wish I could have got that, but Penny literally climbed a steel fence once, and she made it look pretty easy. So now we have to double wire our hard fencing for her, and she gets zapped once in a while, but by the upper wire, because she's quite talented. But
yeah, they're
Arkin,
escape artists for sure.
and I think if I had a crazy Desmond and a girl next to him and stuff, he'll probably he would go over the fence or try to knock it down. So it'll be upper the fencing, and not only lower for piglets but higher for pigs like that.
Yeah.
Like Penny and like Desmond. I know I need an upper wire too. So anyway, but I like, you can't be mad at them having good drives. So anyway, so I actually so from 23 to 24 year, any new buildings or redesigns you're going to do this year?
Other than
My
adapting for the turkeys, I have to redo half of Arkin's other pen now because he tore the whole fence out. He
Wow.
whip poles, everything. So I've got to go through and redo that whole fence line. And then other than that, finish.
Move the garden.
Yeah, move the garden.
2 years in a row and nothing out of that garden. And I think it's either too close to the buildings or I don't know what it is, not getting enough sun maybe. Or that big tree, that juniper tree might be putting too much acid down. Even though most of them are in raised beds, it's still falling in there. So maybe that's the problem. I don't know.
Have you ever thought about doing maybe a couple of above ground 4x8?
That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, most of mine in there are above ground. And they didn't do good. The only ones that did good was the lemon cucumbers. And my 2 corns.
2 ears of corn.
I know everybody says, no, you need 2 rows. Well, I started out with 6, ended up with 2 stalks, and got 3 corns on them.
Yeah.
So I got little baby corns, but I still grew them.
So are you guys having the conversations like me and Sherry were having last year of like limit, where your limitations are and what you are and are not going to do for sure? I mean, as much as, are you going to drop some things now or modify things for 2024?
We'll probably just modify. I probably won't be buying too many new birds.
There's that word.
No promises made, but there's a couple that I would like to get, but we'll see.
I'm building one more coop.
No, you're not.
For the turkeys. Other than that, I'm not
nothing to build.
Okay.
It's already there.
So I think it's been kind of fun with Central Oregon Grown. I think it's kind of opened up some new avenues for all of us. We just aren't sure what those avenues are yet, but we urge everybody to watch the site as the summer comes, because things like we might be offering turkeys, might be offering strawberries, more meat, more meat birds, or and so it's been kind of fun, and it's I know we haven't even tapped into the whole resource yet of what we can do that site. Trying to make sure. I think some of the things we have to do for us, it's like I have people nudging me about beef, and I really do want to do beef, but I've got to coordinate a steer with a processor, and it's important. Um, and I missed the target this year in the winter because I had two beautiful with steers and stuff, but I couldn't get them processed for 4 months or something like that, and that's beyond marbling time and everything like that. So I got to coordinate that better and with the farmer that I want to get my steers from, and eventually I'm hoping maybe next fall we might have beef in there. But in the meantime, I think we're all going to improve on what we're already doing and in adding some new things. Like I know we're finding out the neighborhoods in the local area definitely like their poultry, and so all of us are going to go a little heavier in poultry and make sure that we have plenty of supplies for everybody. So, um, anything you want to add to that?
I think you pretty much hit on it. I'll just keep ordering birds and be happy.
So, anything for next year that you're avoiding compared to 23?
Avoiding.
Not really, other than cold weather.
Yeah.
I'd love to avoid that from January all the way through.
Yep.
Well, we
Yeah,
were blessed. There was a blessing putting the water lines in this summer.
Yeah, you got me even thinking about it. So I got to
Oh,
call in Jack Kennedy to come out and give me a quote and see if there's something worthwhile to do.
Yeah,
At
it's
least,
nice. They don't even freeze at all.
well, yeah, they're not supposed to.
I know.
Well,
and
the first night it kind of did, but it wasn't a hard freeze. The water still pushed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jack, I don't think he does the piping part, does he?
No, I didn't.
No.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
It's making the trenches are going to be tricky on our property because we have a
The
16 channel water system already. So it's going to be a real obstacle course to get from the main line away from the 16 channel stuff without damaging anything in there. And once we get past that, then it's free for all, and Jack can just go like crazies. But anyway,
So
we have
what
some challenge.
do you have to do it through the main line? Couldn't you tap into one of your sprinkler lines?
No,
Oh.
because sprinkler lines, first of all, like this time of year, they've been blown out and they're dead. They're not working because they've been blown out. And
right.
Anyway, so you got to go to the main source of where the water comes from, and unfortunately, that's where the main water comes from for the sprinkler system in the first place. So that means I have this little maze of pipes going all directions in one area. So it's going to be a real challenge to dig.
From your well, is there a main piping that comes out and then feeds your house and splits off, feeds the house and the sprinkler system, right?
Yep. But from there, the sprinkler system leaves that area and goes right across the same area. So I got double problems. I got main lines and I got sprinkler lines, and so it's just going to be tricky.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see what Jack has to say.
Yeah, you might have to do it across your driveway out.
What's that?
You might have to go across your driveway and over.
Yeah, but
that's where the sprinklers aren't, right?
No, you have sprinklers going across that driveway, and
it's
almost everywhere you go.
It's like a spider web.
Like a spider web, exactly.
Okay. Good luck with that, buddy.
Yeah, that's why I've been avoiding it. Are you guys growing anything new this year? As far as gardens?
Well, I want to do the green beans. I want to do the tomatoes, but both years. Well, this year, those stupid greenhorns took out every one of my tomato plants. I had 12?
Yeah.
overnight. Took them out.
And last question. Last question I have for you for 2024 is: are you trying to decrease or put your energy in the things that you're proactive in? How are you going to balance your free time next year? Personal time.
Probably like we did this year, have animal sitter come over when we go on vacation.
Yeah.
But we modified so much this year that it's really easy to do. It takes John about 15 minutes for the pigs and the baby chickens, and it takes me about
same time
10 minutes for all of my birds.
Yeah.
It actually beats me in the house in the cold.
Damn straight.
He doesn't wait for me to walk back up from the barn.
But yeah, we modified it quite a bit this year to make it more easier and not time consuming.
Yeah.
So yeah, just have, like we did this year, have our animal sitter come over and do it that way.
Gotcha. And any other? What's that?
You got 3.
Oh, I know. I see the time. Any additional things I may have not covered? I skipped some of them here, but you guys doing anything different with the processing of your pigs or anything like that? Or I noticed that a lot of your pigs are keeping with family, but I know you're stretching out a little bit and starting to find regular customers too.
Most of our customers aren't family.
Oh.
But the nice thing is we were already boarding 3 pigs besides the other ones coming to get the other ones.
Yeah.
And we sold a boar.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah, we got new customers this year. So I think, do we have any family doing it this year?
No.
I don't think we have any family doing it this year.
Yeah,
and the reason is because they still have
we
a
had
lot
this year. I didn't get enough piglets to do any sales. So, but as far as new customers, it's all coming through Central Oregon grown. But as far as actual pigs, I'd say we're the same.
Well, most of our family still has their freezers pretty much stocked from the pigs we brought last winter or last season.
Yeah, they were pretty big.
Wow. All right, guys. Well, we're getting to the end of the show here. In fact, we were there. So
we're there.
Yeah. Thank you very much for sharing all your new stuff going on and sharing your our pig stories and the whole works. Has been something else. So hopefully next week we can get John on.
And Rev.
I don't know what's going on with his phone, but that's kind of weird. Anyway, guys, have a great day. And thank the hosts, John and Debbie, for being with us. And we'll see everybody possibly next week, unless we get snowstorm or something like that.
Tonight.
Or we all get COVID-19 or something. But otherwise, we should be here next week. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to everybody else. Bye. Where's my camera? There it is. Bye.
Graphics.
This video is made possible by RangerRob Poopy Bags, available in Amazon right now. Thank you very much for watching our video. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. Thanks.